You are listening to the Tough Decisions Network Tip of the Day.
Thanks for joining me today on the Tough Decisions Daily Tip Podcast. This is Dennae, and I'm going to be sharing with you another tip today related to time management. Several days ago, I talked about multitasking and the concept that, multitasking is even possible, and kind of raising the question in our head that, really multitasking, the way most of us think of multitasking, it's not even really possible to do on an efficient scale at all, and kind of getting us to rethink that. Today, I want to share some thoughts related to outsourcing and hopefully give you at least some additional things to think about when you're considering outsourcing. If you are like me at all, outsourcing might not be really something that you like to do or even want to do, but it can be a valuable tool, and you really should consider it if you are faced with a dilemma of not having enough time, which a lot of us are. So what is outsourcing? Well, basically, you're just giving tasks that don't have to be done by you to someone else. Now, these could be simple things. They could be complex things that you have the ability to do, but you simply don't have the time to do. And the way I look at it is there are certain positions and there are certain responsibilities that can only be filled by me. Example would be a mother to my children. Only one person can be a mother to my children. And so that's something that I want to do, and I want to do well, and I want to have the time to do. Other things in that same realm, but other tasks like cleaning the house. Is it possible for someone else to clean the house? Well, yes, it is. Do I mind cleaning the house? Actually, surprisingly, no, I really don't. I think I do a good job with it, and I don't mind doing it, but someone else can do that. And it allows and frees me up and gives me more energy to spend with those other things that I really want to do and only I can do. There's a whole new almost market, or relatively new market, for meal planning and meal services. And I really think that came about because of the demand for, busy people to have someone else do something that, could they do it? Sure, they could. But is it necessary for them? Is that something that can be, quote, outsourced? Well, yes, it is. So something that Dan talks about a lot is your highest and best use of your time. And so there's certain things, and the things that only you can do, well, that's going to be the highest and best use of your time. A couple of things to think about as far as when you're trying to figure out what exactly it is can be outsourced. Well, is there anything that you're doing that someone else could do just as well? One thing that as business owners and entrepreneurs, I think have to overcome is the fact that a lot of times they're good at a lot of different things. And so they just try to do those things, but it weighs them down and it keeps them from the highest and best use of your time. So what is it that someone else can do? And what is it that you're doing that someone else can do and then you can review and approve? So there's certain things that you can just totally hand over to someone. There's other things that you can hand over to them to work on and do, maybe some writing or some web design, some producing of content like for a blog or a website or for a social media page. You can turn that over, but then you can always have the option of reviewing and approving it. So it's still, the responsibility is still coming back to you, and you're still getting the opportunity to look at those things and approve what's being put out there, but you're not having to spend the entire amount of time necessary to actually produce all that. And again, I challenge the way you're thinking on this because, as I've told you, I've been pretty transparent telling you that this is not really something that I enjoy doing. I like to think that I can do everything that needs to be done, but it's really not possible. And so we have to constantly be asking ourselves, is what I'm doing the highest and best use of my time? And is there anything that I'm doing that someone else could help me with? Because that was going to free your brain space as well as your energy to put towards those things that only you can do well. And we all have those things as well. All have things that are priority sets that we really want to excel at, but we can't if we don't have the energy or the time to put into it. So use outsourcing. Figure out what it is that you can do that someone else can help you with, and then put them to use doing those things so that you can do the things that only you are capable of doing.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel on iTunes to listen in for more daily tips. Every day, we will be releasing a short 3 to 5 minute tip to help you make better decisions. Help us spread the word about the Tough Decisions podcast with your friends, and also take time right now to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Facebook, or your favorite platform. You've been listening to the Tough Decisions Show.